Hey folks, it's Dave here, back live on YouTube. And today I'm playing some Action PC Hockey. It's the new one, the 2020 edition. And we're going to simulate the NHL playoffs that are being played right now. So I thought it'd be fun to get on here. Uncle Ron, my good friend Uncle Ron, just tried it out. So I want to see what my results are compared to his. And I'll show you a little bit how to get here too. The thing about the Action PC Hockey game is, aside from playing the actual game, you know, when you're playing on the screen with the rink and the whole bit, this game tends to be a little wonky. Everything seems to be a workaround to get it to work properly. Nothing works as you think it would, but you can get it to work. So what you need to do is go to your specific season. Okay, so I'm going to go 2019. So here's 2019, and to get the playoffs going, you go to Play and then Playoffs. And then down here, it'll say Create a Playoff Folder. Now, I've already done that, so I don't need to do that again. So I'm just going to go Switch to Playoffs. Okay, so now here's where we are. So then you click here on the playoff bracket. And I've already put in my teams, but this is where you put in your teams. And again, if you wanted to have anybody in the playoffs you wanted to, you could. It doesn't do it automatically. This game will not carry over everything automatically. You need to do everything manual. So I manually put in all the teams. I set it up for 8. You can have it 4 or 8. So I set it up for 8 teams in a bracket. So we have the East and the West, or whatever the conferences are called now. Back in my day, it was Wales and Campbell, but I think that's long gone. Put in the reseed between rounds, so that way there you make sure that the highest surviving seed will play the lowest surviving seed. I think that's how that goes. And then once you have everything in here, you set your best of 7 and you hit set pairings. And now here we go. This is really weird how they set this up, but I'm going to show you at least what I've been poking around with. So we have the first matchup is Montreal, Philadelphia. Now, if I exit out of this, if you see this right here, right? So if I go to my, let's see, if I go to playoff bracket, no, let's see. It's not going to let me, scheduled playoff games. Here we go. See how it brings me back to the beginning of the season. So this is October 2nd. So it brings me back, so you can't really play the playoffs here. It's really weird how they do that. Or at least I have not figured out a way to get the playoffs to show up here, because this is still regular season right now. So also what you need to do, go to your rules and put all games on neutral ice, because that's how they're doing it this year. So I'm putting all games on neutral ice. Save that. So there's a couple things you need to do first. So again, I can't really play anything unless I go to the playoff bracket, just kind of how this kind of works. So I can hit play, and that would bring me to play the game, but I'm just going to simulate. So I want to go to auto. But again, here's another thing you need to do. The series will start April 10th. To change the date, you got to click on the detail button. So I click on details, and I'm going to go over here and just put the 11th. We're going to start everything on the 11th. Again, you click detail. You got to click it a second time. I'll put it August 11th. And again, for some reason, this is just how you have to do this right here. It's just you got to click on the detail. You hit OK. You go detail again. And again, everything's a little wonky outside of the gameplay here in the Action PC Hockey world. I don't know if the other games are any better or not, but this is the game you got to play and the dance you got to do to get around. Now, I know that starting in August is really weird. Now, that may or may not mess things up. So we're going to find out that because of the new season would be starting in September, that if this messes up anything in the game. So this will be my last one, I believe. So we're going to start everything on August 11th. We'll see if that messes anything up. So now everything should be ready to go here in the playoffs. So I'm going to hit auto. I'll go series by series. I'm not going to go game by game. I'm going to just do the series by series. So we do auto. It plays the game. And here's the final. 9-2 Philadelphia. Wow. 9-2 Philadelphia. So I come back to the screen here. And this should change the 1. So you can see Philadelphia leads the series 1-0. Let's play game 2. And it takes a few seconds for this to happen. And Philadelphia wins this one a little bit better, 2-1, a little bit better than the the 9-2 game. All right, now I'm going to go to game 3. Like I said, it's a little wonky how it does it. It'd be nice if I could do it from the other screen. And here's 4-1. So the Flyers lead this one 3-0. And here's another one. Another automatic. See if they get the sweep. And no, Montreal stays alive at home with a 7-4 win. At home, it's all neutralized anyway. But yeah, technically they'd be the home team. So it's 3-1 now. Flyers with home ice here in Game 5. Can they put them away? And yes, they do. 6-0. Wow, they destroyed the Canadiens. So now it should be 4-1 in the Flyers advantage. Now let me see what happens if I exit out of here. Okay, so it shows the playoffs here. Philadelphia with a 4-1, and it shows us all the leading scores. Okay, so let's go back to my playoff bracket. We played this one here, so now we're going to auto-play Boston, Carolina. Now, as long as I don't go 7, this thing should move along pretty quick. So Boston actually wins 5-3 in Game 1. So it should put a little 1 over here next to Boston. And it does. Auto-play Game 2. And I don't think there's a way that you could auto-play the series. I think Juckett was telling me he couldn't find a way. So Boston goes up 2-0. Taking both games, quote, at home here in this unusual playoff. So let's go to auto Game 3. Boston 7-5. What I do like, though, I don't want to dump all over this thing here, but I do like how it goes right to the box score here. So you can really look at the box score and see what happens. Empty net goal by Marchand at the end to make it 7-5. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, the other one it does give you the box score as well, but I like how this brings up the full box score. So this is actually not as bad as I saw. So Boston 3-0 over Carolina, trying to get the sweep. And Carolina pulls it out 4-3. So it's 3-1 now. So let's go to Game 5, Boston, Carolina. Will Boston blow the 3-game lead? They did that in my cards and dice. Oh no, Carolina coming back. It's just the Bruin way. It's the Bruin way. Hi, Al, Red Sox fan. I'm just simming here. Ron simmed earlier, so he got me thinking. I'm going to sim the playoffs myself here in Action PC. I think I'm doing okay. I think the surgery. I saw my chiropractor today. He thought, 3 in a row. This is unbelievable. My chiropractor thought I looked a lot better, so that gave me some hope to think that I did the right thing having this surgery. So here it is, Game 7. Boston was up 3-0. Can they blow it in typical Bruins fashion? Yes, they do. Carolina wins 4 in a row after going down 3-0. That's the Bruins way. That's just what the Bruins do. They get up by 3 and they just go to sleep. So Boston is out. Carolina takes the series. Now they shouldn't automatically play Philadelphia yet because we still have some potential upsets here. This is what I'm not. This is what I'm concerned about, is that they shouldn't be playing automatically. I don't like that. So let's exit out of here. 4 in a row, yep. So let's just, for the team report, let's see if it shows the playoffs. Yep, it does. So Boston wins 3 and they lose 4. And just like that, the Bruins blow it. They're just the kings of blowing leads. So all the Bruins fans are tuning out right now. So we're going to autoplay Columbus and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay with a nice easy win in Game 1. I'm going to wait for this to change. I'm going to go here. So I'm hoping if there's an upset that this schedule will correct itself. Otherwise, then I know that I did something wrong here. Tampa Bay up 2-0. Because, again, if why? Who's the bottom teams? If the Islanders or Columbus win over here, then they would play Philadelphia, right? Because Philadelphia is the top seed. They should play the lowest seed available. So that shouldn't be an automatic lineup, a matchup right there. Tampa Bay up 3-0 now. Because doing this, so Carolina's the 5, that's assuming that all the top seeds win. So I'm interested to see if the Islanders can pull out a victory here, if that would change anything. Yeah, okay, you're in North Carolina. Yeah, so, oh boy, there's a sweep right there. No chance for Columbus on that one. Well, the Carolina's still alive, so here you go. So let's exit out of here. Let that update over there. So Tampa Bay 4 with the sweep. So now let's go to the Islanders and the Capitals. There's no LaFontaine in this series. 8-4 Islanders. Islanders take game 1 of the series. We could have an upset here. And it'd be interesting to see if they do win, where they would seed them. Because I thought check and reseed would do exactly that. But maybe, again, yeah, there's always a workaround in these games. Islanders take game 2, so they're up 2-0. The New York Islanders are upsetting the 3-seed Washington Capitals right now. Yeah, Tampa Bay swept. Boston should have swept. They're up 3-0. They couldn't close the door. Washington comes back 4-1 in game 3, so that's 2-1 right now. And now let's go to game 4. Islanders looking to go up 3-1 in the series. And no, Washington comes back. The series is tied at 2-2, so they got a good series going here. So let's auto-play game 5. See who's going to be playing Tampa Bay. Yeah, it might wait till the end of the first round to reseed everything. Be interesting to see if the Islanders do win or not. No, Washington comes back again, so we might not be able to see that. Because Washington's up 3-2, looking to take this in 6 games after dropping the first 2. And yes, they do. They come back and they take that. So it will be Washington and Tampa. So that's what we have so far is Philadelphia in 5 games over Montreal. Carolina, after being down 3-0, comes back to wipe out the Bruins. Yeah. Yes, they do. Now I got to get a Carolina hat and throw this hat out. Tampa Bay with a sweep. Washington went down 2-0, but ended up getting by the Islanders. Now, what is this? Oh, this is really weird. Oh, we already have the next seeding. That's why that is. Okay, so we're going to go out to West, Chicago and Vegas. Vegas is heavy favorites, by the way, over the Blackhawks. I didn't think the Blackhawks were that bad. I didn't know how good Vegas was this year. So Chicago continues the upset run. 4-2 win in game 1. Chicago, the 8th seed. I think they were actually seed 11 or 12, weren't they, in the preliminary rounds? So game 2 goes to Vegas. So that series is tied 1-1. This is actually kind of fun. A quick way to sim out playoffs right here. It's not too slow, but it's not too fast. You get a little bit of drama and you get a little bit of the box score, so that's kind of cool. In Vegas, taking game 3, so they have the 2-1 lead in the series. As we go to game 4 right now. And we wait for that to sim. And it takes about, 10 seconds? That's not too bad. Chicago ties up the series 4-2. And I didn't put any of the logos in on this one here. I probably could have done that and made it look a lot better than it does. So I'm just running the generic stock images here. But I usually dress it all up with images and jerseys and stuff. But I just wanted to kind of run this playoff through. So you would have the team logos up here instead. Vegas takes this one as well. So Vegas goes up 3-2, looking to clinch this one in 6. Here we go. Can Vegas advance against the Blackhawks? Game 6. And yes, they do. A nice, easy 6-2 win. 3 goals in the third to blow open a 3-2 lead, rather. So, Vegas moves on. Exit out of that. Let that register. Okay. I don't know. You don't have to exit out. I like to, so it saves it, because if it ever crashes, then you lose all your games. So I like to exit out after the series. All right, so St. Louis and Vancouver. And it is Vancouver, 6-5, 1925. Was it Boser or Besser? Scored with 35 seconds left to give Vancouver a win in Game 1 over the favorite Blues. Even though it's funny, the Blues are 4th seed, the Bruins are 4th seed. So the teams that went to the finals last year both ended up the 4th seed after all the tournament stuff that happened. All right, so Game 2. And St. Louis evens up the series just as we figured they would. Empty net goal at the end by O'Reilly. We'll tie the series up at 1-1. So now we're going to go to Game 3. It's going to play it out. It does a nice job of playing it out, really. 4-2 Vancouver. Oh, boy. The Canucks. The Canucks are not going away here. They have taken a 2-1 series lead. Now we'll go to Game 4. See if they can bounce the Blues here. This would be a big win for the Canucks. No, St. Louis. With a goal by Shen halfway through the third period. We'll tie the series up. Game 5 between Vancouver and St. Louis. I don't know too much about either of these teams. Especially Vancouver. St. Louis takes another one here, 5-3. So St. Louis on the verge of advancing. And let's go to Game 6 right now. Round 1, best of 7. Simulating here on Action PC Hockey, the 2020 edition. And St. Louis will wrap it up in Game 6. So St. Louis will advance. And it says they're playing Vegas, but let's see what goes on in the other series. So now we have 7th-seeded Arizona taking on 2-seeded Colorado. Oh, I didn't exit out, did I? I'll have to do it after this game. And Colorado with a nice easy win in Game 1. All right, so let me close out of here and make sure this all saves. Okay. Let's take a look at our scoring leaders. Pasternak and Marchand are leading, but they're also on the golf course right now. Autoplay Game 2, Colorado, Arizona. And survey said it was Arizona tying up the series 1-1. Interesting to see how the Rangers do next year with that top pick. I'm kind of happy that they got it. I'm sick of Edmonton and Toronto getting all the top picks and not making the playoffs. So let's see what the Rangers can do with a top pick. Colorado goes up now 2-1 with a nice win in Game 3. Let's go to Game 4 now. See if I always call them the Colorado Rockies. What are they, the Avalanche? They'll always be the Rockies to me. Sorry, they just will. Colorado taking this one as well, so they have a 3-1 series lead, looking to send the Coyotes back to the desert. And let's see what happens in Game 5 as we simulate the playoffs here. And yes, Colorado 4-1. So exit out of here. So no upsets there. So the only upset so far is the 5-seed Carolina over the 4-seed Boston. I really don't consider that a huge upset when 4 upsets 5. 3 and 6 is a gray upset as Dallas takes Game 1 against Calgary. But if 7 or 8 wins, it's definitely an upset. So Dallas up. I wish they stayed Minnesota. Minnesota North Stars are so cool. It's just not cool. The Dallas Stars are just not cool. I like Calgary, too. Calgary ties the series up here, 1 game apiece. We'll see what happens in Game 3, as Calgary is technically the home team. But again, everything is played on neutral ice right now. So maybe that's why the Canadians didn't do so well. Calgary. Woo. Calgary with a 2-1 lead. Again, that's a 6-3, so that's in the gray area as far as upsets go. So if Calgary takes it, should be Calgary, Vegas. And Calgary again. Uh-oh, we could have our first upset. So Calgary's a 3. So if Calgary is a 6 seed, they should move up here to play Vegas. So that should bump St. Louis out. So I kind of hope they do to see if this is set up right with the reseed between rounds. I really hope that is the case. So can Calgary bump off Dallas in Game 5? And no, Dallas 2-0 shutout. And so it's 3-2 right now. So is Calgary going to pull a Bruins here and choke the series away? Game 6, Calgary looking to advance. And the results are coming up right now. And Calgary does advance. So Calgary with a 3-1 win. Pair of goals, including an empty netter by Giordano in the third period, puts away the Stars. So let's see what it does with our schedule. Yes, okay, good. So Al Red Sox fan, if you're watching, yes, it did change because it did have St. Louis and Vegas here, but now that Calgary is the low seed, Calgary bumped up in that move, so I'm happy, very happy to see that. I didn't like how it automatically put it there. But okay, so it did reseed. It did do what we wanted to do. We have Vegas, the top seed, against Calgary, the low seed. So good, yes. So the seedings work fine if you reseed. So let's exit out of that, make sure everything saves. And now we have our second round coming up. So good. So it did do what I was hoping it would do. We did have an upset, and it did make the appropriate changes. Okay, good. All right, so now Carolina, Philadelphia in the best of 7, round 2. Yeah, I just was a little concerned when it automatically put the matchups in there. So it did correct itself, but again, it's just kind of weird that it would. It's weird that it would do that. You would think that you'd like to wait till the end of the round and then put it in there because it was kind of freaking me out seeing that. So Carolina ties the series up at 1-1. I do have the reseed click, but still, it's I wanted to make sure that it did what I was supposed to do because me and Jucker got into a little discussion about reseeding. Of course, I was right and he was wrong, like all of our discussions. Carolina takes a 2-1 lead. Ron, I think the Heat confuses Ron a little bit sometimes. Did you guys know that? I find he gets a little confused in the Heat. But we worked it out. And we figured out what box to check in to make it work anyway. Series tied now. Flyers coming back with a 3-1 win. So we're going to go to Game 5. Series tied 2-2. CU advances to the conference finals here in the East. Is it still the East? I don't know what they're called anymore. Oh, boy. Carolina takes a 3-2 series lead. Yeah, I find that, he's a big fan of the Canadians, so that tends to lead to some other problems. Yep, I agree. Carolina looking to push him out. No, the Flyers say no. 2 goals in the third period are the difference for the Flyers. So we go to a Game 7. So Carolina going to back-to-back Game 7s. I got a feeling the Flyers are going to take Game 7. I just think the Flyers are the stronger team right now. And yes, they are. A goal with 1:09 left by Ob Kubel, who I don't know who he is. But 1:09 to play gives the Flyers the win, and the Flyers advance to the conference finals. Tampa Bay and Washington. So we'll play out that series. This should be a good one, too, even in real life if that happens. 4-3 Tampa Bay. I see this one going 6 or 7, even here in the replay. Philadelphia needed 7 games to get rid of Carolina. They needed to win 6 and 7. And Washington wins 6-5. So high-scoring game. Series tied 1-1. And let's go to Game 3 right now. Tampa Bay, Washington. Winner plays the Flyers. Washington sneaks out of Dodge Toronto with a slim win. They lead the series 2-1. Again, all games on neutral ice. So we'll see what kind of factor that has, if any. And Washington 3-1 now with a 3-1 win. So, game 5, Washington looking to knock out second seed Tampa. They got 3 games to win 1. And they can't do it here. So, team's not doing a very good job of knocking out opponents in elimination games. So, Tampa needs to win 2 more. They need to win 3 in a row. They've won 1. Washington looking to advance, and no, Tampa Bay coming back 7-4. And we go to another game 7. So can Washington choke it away? Just like Boston did, although Washington was only up 3-1. And Washington chokes it away. Tampa Bay wins 3 games in a row to come back and take the series, and Tampa Bay will play Philadelphia. And there's really no home ice advantage. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to exit out, let everything save, and go back to our playoffs. So, game 7, big win for Tampa Bay. Calgary and Vegas, the winner goes to the conference finals. And I'm actually fine with either one of these teams. I don't have an issue with either one. Let's see Vegas get there again. Vegas with a win. Although Calgary did pretty well this year, I think. They're doing better. Game 2. As we simulate the 2020 playoffs here on Action PC Hockey. And Vegas with a 2-0 lead now as they take both games. Quote, at home. Even though they're being played, they're being played in Vancouver, I think, or Edmonton or something. I think is it Edmonton or Vancouver they're playing? I think they're playing in Edmonton. Which I don't know why they're still starting so late tonight. Calgary takes the game, so it's 2-1 now. They're starting one of the playoff games at 10:30 tonight. It's like you don't need to start it at 10:30. We're all sitting home. We don't want to, not that I got to get up for work, but still I just don't want to be up that late. And Calgary ties the series up 5-4 in overtime. Brody scores with 1:25 to go in the first overtime, and that gives Calgary a 2-2 series tie. Game 5, the pivotal Game 5, as they say. And this will go to Calgary. Again, halfway through the third period, Lindholm scores the game-winning goal for the Flames as they pushed Vegas to the brink now. Game 6. Can Vegas come back and take this? And force another Game 7 here in our replay. And yes, they do. 5-3. Thank you very much. So we have another Game 7 coming up here in round 2. Calgary and Vegas. Flames versus the Golden Knights? And Vegas with a 3-1 win. Pair of goals in the third period. Stastny with the game winner. Smith into the empty net. And nice effort by the Flames, but they will lose, and Vegas moves on. Let's go back to our round 2 as we finish up with St. Louis at Colorado. This should be fairly easy for St. Louis. 5-4 is not that easy, but they did pull it out. Colorado's actually the higher seed. I think St. Louis is the better team, but maybe they didn't have a good play-in round. Is that what it is? I didn't think Colorado was that good this year, but maybe they are. All right, so tied at 1-1. So St. Louis does steal one of the first 2. Oh, I'm sorry, they took both of them. Oh, my bad. Did I read that wrong? I thought I saw Colorado won. Oh, maybe I'm getting a little dizzy here in my old age. Maybe I announced that wrong. I thought Colorado won the first game. Well, Colorado won this one, that's for sure. St. Louis with a 2-1 series lead. As we play game 4, St. Louis 3-2. So St. Louis 1 game away from the conference finals. Something that the Bruins couldn't do because they blew a 3-game lead back in round 1. Yes, they did. It's not the first time they've done that to me. And St. Louis does advance 4-2. They win the series 4-1. And so we have our series here. So Vegas, St. Louis. So let's exit out. So now we're down to our final 2 series here. I'm going to play the West out first this time. So I'm going to play St. Louis and Vegas. I'm going to play them first. Uh-oh. Crash-a-rooney. Crash-a-rooney. See what happens when I try to play the West first? All right, let's see where we left off. Let's try it again. So do I have to play the East first? Do I have to play it in order? Or am I done here? Is the game busted here? Let's see if let's do this. Let's go here. Oh. I might, yep. I wonder if it has to do with the schedule. I wonder if that's what it is, because I started on August 11th. Maybe that's it. Let's go back to the 11th. See if that helps. Let's try that. Aha! See, I knew that might be a problem. Is it going to play it or not? Yeah. All right. So we learned something today, folks. Okay, so I had to back up. So see how I put it back on August 11th? So I kind of figured that might happen. Is when I started round 1 on August 11th and we played very deep into the playoffs, I kind of thought that maybe that was the wrong thing to do because it would spill into the new season and give me an error because I'm going into September, which would be part of the new season. So, yeah, I think you need to have the season end by September 1st. So if you're going to do this, back up your first round. Don't start it in August. Start it back in May or June. And you won't have a problem. So I think that was my problem because when I changed the detail of the start date, I got it out of September, went back to August 11th. That was okay. So I guess we're learning. We're learning on the fly here. And that's what we do here, folks. So the series is tied 1-1. So, again, everything seems to be a workaround in this game. You really do got to really look at what you're doing and figure it out. But, hey, we're still going. We're still playing after a couple of glitches. But now we know. Now we know we can't play through September as Tampa Bay takes this one. 2-1. So at least we're still playing, and we solved the problem. And that's what I tend to find with. I like this game, but you do got to do a dance. You really do got to play around here to make it work. Tampa Bay now up 3-1. Yeah, it was the date, L. Yep. And we're going to play Game 5 now to see if Tampa Bay can get to the finals. So that'll be the 2nd seed. And Tampa Bay with a 5-4 win. Period 6. Holy cow. What is that? 3 overtimes. In the 3rd overtime, Killorn scores for Tampa Bay. Wow. I've never seen a game go into 6 periods before. Wow. That would have been a cool one to watch. It would have taken a long time, but it'd be great if you go back and see the highlight of that goal. That's one. Oh man, I wish they would do that. So that was cool. 6 periods and Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers, not the Lightning. Tom Brady's happy. One of the Tampa Bay teams got to the finals. All right, Vegas, St. Louis. We'll play it out to see who plays Tampa Bay. And Game 1 goes to St. Louis, 5-4. A late goal by Theodore with a minute and a half to play. It gives St. Louis Game 1. I'm going to exit out of that to save that. I forgot to exit out. That's just me. I just like to... when I back out and I see it save on the screen over here, I feel like it's saved. And if we have the crash, I wouldn't lose anything. That's just me. And again, that's another workaround for this game. That I'd like to do is go back to the main screen and every once in a while let everything reset, catch its breath, and not push it too hard. St. Louis, 2-0. Are we going to have a St. Louis Tampa Bay final? And Vegas pulls one out, even though they gave up 3 goals in the third here, but still managed to hang on. And every time I see VEG, I think vegan. Oh my gosh. I think I'm getting hungry. That's a problem. All right, game 4 now. Vegas trying to tie the series up at 2 games apiece, and they do. Terrific job. 47 shots on net by the Golden Knights. A 4-3 win. Another late goal. Seeing a lot of goals here in the final couple of minutes for a win. Carlson with 1:09 to play. So we're seeing a lot of drama in these games. All right. Game 5. As we say, the pivotal game 5. Who's going to take the series lead here? It's going to be Vegas. 19-22. McNabb with the empty net goal. Put it away. And Vegas is 1 game away from going back to the finals. So we would have seed 1 in the West and seed 2 in the East. But hold the phone. St. Louis still has games to play. Vegas looking to put them away in game 6. And they do! It's in overtime again. Period 4 was Glass. George Glass from the Brady Bunch at the 3:56 mark to put Vegas in the final. So both teams score in overtime to push themselves into the finals. So let's exit out of that and save. So we have a Vegas-Tampa Bay final. So we got a warm weather final coming up here. So let's see if we get the runtime error now. Yep, we do. So I got to change the date on that one as well. So we'll go back in. Luckily, it comes back pretty quick, which makes it very easy for live broadcasts. So I'm going to go to my detail. I'm going to back it up now to... We'll go to the... let's go to the 17th. How about that? And see if that helps. No, I'm going to back it up further because I don't want any issues. I'm going to go back to the 12th. There we go. Because I really don't think it really matters in the scheme of things, so... Yeah, they rolled some craps, all right. So, game 1, who would be the top seed? Vegas would be the top seed, I would think, right? Not that it would matter, but Vegas would seed 1. Who would be the top seed here? I'm going to go Vegas just because they would... I'm going to swap this out. All right, just because Vegas was number 1 seed, so that's how I'm going to do it. I don't know what their points were in real life. I really don't know. So we're going to do Vegas. I guess I could look it up real quick. Just so I don't get anybody yelling at me. So let me go to my NHL app because I don't want to leave this screen right here. So I just want to double check on my standings. Let's see. Challenge. Let's go to standings. Here we go. All right, so Tampa Bay with 92 points. And Vegas. Oh, Vegas only had 86 points. So... I guess Tampa Bay would be the better team. So I'm going to swap that back. So Tampa Bay, would, by virtue of points, which would be, what did I say, 92? Yep, Tampa Bay is better than Vegas in the standings. So that's what I'm going to do with that. So I'm glad I got that correct. I would go Vegas too, but just by points, if I go look at the points, Tampa Bay had more points, so that's how I'm going to do it. Not sure if that's how they do it in the reels, but that's how we're going to do it here on the replay. So let's get going here. Auto playing game 1, Tampa Bay Vegas. It's supposed to be neutral ice anyway. As we go for the cup. Game 1 goes to Tampa Bay 3-2. Look at this. 31 seconds left. Kucherov scores. A lot of drama in these playoffs. That's pretty cool. A lot of late goals. That'd be fun to be streaming some of these games. All right, so there it is. Tampa Bay up 1-0 in the Cup Finals. I'm just going to call it Cup Finals. Game 2. And Tampa Bay 7-6. Oh, boy, a lot of crazy stuff happening there. 7-6. Goal 16-19, the time of the goal. And that would be, 3:41 left in the game. So, Tampa Bay now enjoys a 2-0 lead in the finals. Vegas with technically the home ice here in Game 3. Can they come back and take this one? Vegas does 4-3 with 2:59 to play. Stone from Stastny and Theodore. And Vegas gets on the board here. And its series is now 2-1. Game 4, Vegas trying to tie the series up. Remember, both teams got overtime goals to get to the finals. Pretty exciting. And Vegas does tie it up 6-3. A pair of empty net goals at the end put away the Lightning/Buccaneers. So now we get 2 games apiece. Let me exit out of that. I want to save that. So we are 2 games apiece. Take a look at our scoring leader now. Kucherov, Stone, and Stamkos, and Pacioretty all doing pretty good up the top. Here we go now. Game 5. Tampa Bay, Vegas in the finals. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? 5-4 Tampa Bay. Boy, these have been some great games. So Tampa Bay, a goal by Stamkos. A little more than midway through the period. Got him the win as Vegas falls just short. So Tampa Bay Lightning/Buccaneers are 1 game away from being the champs here in my replay. Autoplay, Game 6. Vegas with their backs to the wall. And Vegas pulls it out 4-2. Strong third period. Tampa Bay firing 17 third period shots. And who was the goalie? Fleury. Fleury with a great third period. And he keeps the series alive. And folks, it's tied 3-3. And the Cup Finals are going 7 games. Pretty good replay so far. Tampa Bay, Vegas are going to Game 7 to determine the Cup. Now, if I had the time, I'd play it out. That would be kind of cool to play it out and see who wins. But I'm just going to auto-sim this because I don't want to be taking up all of your day. Here we go. Game 7. Maybe I'll play it out at a later time. Tampa Bay, Vegas. And, oh, the Golden Knights will lift the hardware up 3-2. Are you kidding me? Fantastic. Smith with a goal halfway through the third period stands up. And Vegas will be our champions. Yep, there we go. The Vegas Golden Knights pull it out in Game 7, and they will be our champions. Let's go to our team report, and let's look at Vegas. And there it is, folks. There's our series. They lost the first 2 games. Then they won 2. Then they lost 5-4. And then they won the last 2, 4-2 and 3-2. And, yep, so our Vegas Golden Knights are the champions here in my replay in 7 games. Let's go back and take a look at the bracket one more time. So, as you can see, so the route for Vegas, they got by Chicago 4-2. They got by Calgary in 7 games. It was 6 games against St. Louis and then 7 games. So, their series went 6 and 7 games. Pretty neat. Tampa Bay, they had a sweep of Columbus. They went 7 games with Washington. 4-1 over Philly, but they did go to 6 periods of overtime in Game 5 to get to the finals, and then they lose in 7 games to Vegas. Fun time, fun series, folks. So that is a little bit of playoff sim hockey with Action PC Hockey, the 2020 edition. And again, you saw some of the speed bumps I ran into and maybe how to fix them, as far as when to start your playoffs and the whole bit. So lucky that it's an easy fix usually in here as far as cleaning up some of the stuff. But again, you got to jump through some hoops sometimes to make this work. But we jumped through the hoops. They're not too bad. And we had our finals, and it was great. 7 games. So we'll talk to everybody later. Thanks to those who watched, and we'll talk to you next time. I'm Dave. Bye-bye, everyone.